I was 16 and I was at work one day, and my whole life I'd gone to church, I'd read my Bible, done all that stuff, and I don't know, you ever get to the point where you've just gone to enough church services and enough places that you're like, okay, I've heard all this stuff about God, but I can't just live off someone else. God, if you're real, I have to know you for myself. That was it. That was my moment where everything changed, because I cried out, screamed in my car, God, if you're real, I have to know you. And it was insane. Like, after that day, everything started changing. Like, I remember the first time I was in my room and 4 hours just went by like that. I was just laying there worshiping God, listening to worship music, and I kept finding like worship music that was actually like so legit. Like, it made my heart move as I listened to it. I actually encountered God, and all of a sudden 4 hours would go by and I'd look at the clock and be like, how did that happen? What is this? Oh my gosh. And my heart started to come alive. I started to read my Bible, and instead of just reading it and okay, I did my little, I read my Bible because I'm a good Christian, it was like the words would explode off the page, and I would run into my parents' room and be like, Dad, have you seen this? All kinds of different things would just jump off the page because I had asked God to know Him. And Jesus said that you search the scriptures because you think in them they're life, but actually those scriptures are supposed to lead you to me. And I was experiencing for the first time the scriptures leading me to Jesus, and it fulfilled my heart in a way I had never experienced before. For the first time, everything started coming alive for me. It was like a light bulb had gone off in my mind. It was insane how everything changed. And all of a sudden I started falling in love with this thing called prayer. You know, for so long, prayer, what's prayer? We hear it a lot, but like, what is it really? And I discovered it was simply me talking to God and Him talking back. It was amazing how prayer was so much simpler than I had ever dreamed. Prayer is about relationship. It's all about relationship with God. See, God's been speaking to me about this thing of relationship, because relationship is built off connection that is sustained. Connection is built off of communication that is valued. When that communication of what is in our hearts is valued and it's reciprocated back and forth, all of a sudden a connection is established. Oh my gosh, this person gets me. This person hears my heart. This person actually wants to know who I am. And as that's established, all of a sudden a relationship starts to build. A relationship where people feel valued and they want to go talk to this person. They want to spend time with this person because there's a relationship there. And God's heart is for relationship and for intimacy. But it all hinges, the entire thing of relationship hinges on this idea of communication. See, I always thought that it was about doing things. That's just what I thought. I thought the Christian life was about doing things for God. Of course, we need to expand the kingdom, we need to get people saved, we need this, we need that, the Great Commission. And of course, that's a huge role we play here on earth. But God's actual original intention in the garden was for relationship between God and man. That was the original intent. He walked in the garden in the cool of the day, and He would teach them how to rule this earth well. And I think so often with prayer, we think of it as this, as us bringing our requests and making them known to God, which is, don't get me wrong, that is biblical, to bring our requests before God. But I think that we stop there when that's like stopping at the doorway. Because when we encounter God in prayer, when we communicate with God and He communicates His heart back, there's a life and a joy in that I've never experienced anywhere else. I've never encountered such joy as when God speaks His heart to me and it moves my heart. And man, talk about something that changes your life. When it becomes real, that prayer isn't about a list or duties or anything that we have to do. It's about talking to God and Him talking back. And man, talk about a mindset shift. Like, all of a sudden, I knew why I was doing these things I was supposed to be doing. I knew why I was supposed to pray. Because it was as I prayed that I got to know God. And as I got to know Him, I wanted to be just like Him. And it caused me to want to ask Him to help me. And it creates this beautiful cycle where I get to know Him like, God, I want to be like you. And He says, here's my strength. And boom, I encounter His strength and He transforms me to be just like Him. And I'm like, thank you, God, that you're transforming. Thank you that I'm becoming more like you. Thank you for what you're doing in my life. And it's this beautiful cycle of love and thankfulness and joy and peace and righteousness where our life has meaning. And no matter what pain we go through, like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because suddenly there's something more important. We actually discover how amazing it is to know God. He steps into our lives and helps us, but it's until we ask, we often don't see it. He doesn't force His way in, but He is someone who loves to love. And when we ask, God, I want to know you, He says, I know you and I want you to know me. Because as I love you, you'll learn how to love others in the way you've always wanted to but never known how. And He started to change my life and my perspectives. And guys, it's been like the best 6 years ever. Just getting to know God and getting to know who I am because of what He's done. It has been incredible. And I'm so thankful for the entire journey.